What is up, everybody? Triple Steve here today, and we're gonna talk about the season finale of Secret Wars. Since the game has been pretty dry right now, it's like I might as well talk about a TV show that everybody's talking about right now. Secret Invasion spoilers. If you haven't seen the show, if you haven't seen the finale, then click off now. But if you haven't seen it, we're gonna talk about this show. So people are saying this is one of the worst shows ever made from the MCU. I don't know, especially this episode 6 got a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know if it's the worst show of the MCU, but it's definitely like a lot of I like a lot of the actors that's in this show right now. I like Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury. I like this guy as Talos. I like Emilia Clarke as the Gaia character. I like this dude as Gravik, and I like the woman who played this. I forgot her name as well. I liked all these actors so much. So I can't say it's the worst show. The acting is on point, but the script and the writing is just awful. So, like I said, this is a spoiler episode, but this whole thing is because of Nick Fury, this promise he made to the Skrulls that was on Earth, and the promise to get them a home, and they doing different missions for him. So I kind of have an understanding why the villain is angry at this guy because since he was a child, he was lied to pretty much by Nick Fury. So I kind of see a point where he becomes a villain, but to try to wipe out all of humanity, that makes no sense to me. Like that's going too far with it. Like sure, honestly, you got a problem with Nick Fury, but you want to wipe out everybody on Earth to get back at Nick Fury. Like, that's a crazy twist right there. It's a crazy 180 right there. Like, because you're mad at Nick Fury, wipe out all of humanity. Like, that doesn't make any sense. But that is his motivation in the story so far. Um, and then the finale, like, we learned that the Nick Fury heading up to meet this guy wasn't even Nick Fury, it was her in disguise as Nick Fury. And it's like, so you mean to tell me that this guy who caused all this nonsense, Nick Fury, didn't even meet up with this guy to settle the score with this guy, was just an imposter of Nick Fury? Like, that is terrible writing. And then when they do this big fight, you see that they become like they have all the Avengers powers. Like, so Emilia Clarke is now the strongest character in the MCU right now because she has everybody's powers, whether it be Thanos. She has Thanos' soldiers' powers, Captain Marvel's powers, Captain America's powers. Anybody you could think of that's in the Avengers MCU so far, she has their powers. And it's like, really? This is dumb. This is so dumb. Like, what writers decided to do that? Like, at least in the comic books, you had a Super Skrull who had four powers, at least the powers of the Fantastic Four. But now they went above and beyond and just gave her everybody's powers. It's in the MCU so far. And it's like, this is a dumb decision that they did. So I can see why this is lowly rated because, once again, I like the actors. They did a good job with the acting, but the script is just terrible. Like, this is just awful. Yeah, so she's just now the strongest character. What's stopping her from becoming evil just because she's just supposed to believe that she's just a good person because she's a daughter of Talos. But then again, she has all this power. She gets to become evil. What they're going to do to stop her now? Like, I don't think it was thought out too that well. Then the president, the president discovers that hey, he's been lied to. Rhodey isn't actually Rhodey with a scroll. Then he makes a declaration that we're gonna kill all the aliens from different planets on Earth. I was like, really? That seems a bit extreme. That seems a bit extreme, but it's just like what this show is just like. It's just you just think about all the stuff put together. It's like it was entertaining to watch, but it's really stupid. Like, and then nobody tells the president that the Skrulls that you hate so much, one of them saved your life and gave his life for you. This guy who died, Talos, that isn't mentioned not once to the president, who makes this crazy declaration that we're going to kill all the Skrulls, and you got these crazy vigilantes going out and killing Skrulls too, or killing people who they think they are Skrulls, who sometimes they aren't even Skrulls, they're just killing regular people who are in high power positions. So yeah, I kind of see why this is lowly rated. The finale just didn't seem like a conclusion. This Secret Invasion probably should have been like an Avengers level movie at this point because in the comics it's an Avengers level threat. Like they can copy the powers of any Avengers or take the form of any Avengers. So it makes sense. Though this probably should have been a movie, but I don't know. I don't know about this being an entire like TV show. People are saying they need to get rid of these Marvel TV shows at this point. I don't know. It's like half of them I like, half of them I don't like. Like Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, uh, what's the other one? She Hulk. I thought they were all trash. And the other ones they did so far, I thought they were okay to good, but some of these are just terrible. Like this ending was just terrible. It was not good. Like I said, I don't like the actors. I like the actors and actresses they had, but everything else was just trash, and the writing is just horrible. Like, jeez. If you don't watch a real alien invasion story, yeah, I think Peacemaker was way better for an alien invasion takeover type of thing, sci-fi thing. Um, Another one of the worst finales I've seen. Yeah, I thought Ms. Marvel and She-Hulk finale was terrible, but this is way worse than those other two by far. Oh man, these Marvel TV shows are just hit and miss. Like some of them are good. Even Hawkeye. Like I thought Hawkeye was terrible too. Like Kingpin gets defeated so easily by Kate Bishop. Then Echo finishes him off. I was like, I don't know. Even Hawk, I like Hawkeye somewhat, but that show was kind of some parts of that show was just terrible. Um, Better than a lot of Phase Four. That's not saying much. Phase Four was just awful too. A lot of those movies in Phase Four were terrible, so it's not really saying much. Better than Phase Four. Okay. That cost $220 million for them to make this show. Like, geez, I'm pretty sure most of that money is went to the actors because no way that show cost $220 million. They're not even using CGI most of the times. Most of the scrolls aren't human. They got the human form, and so it can't cost that much in CGI. Like, it's that much to make. Oh yeah, then the back and forth between him and his wife, who was a scroll. It's like, really? Do you really love me if I show you my true face? I'm pretty sure he's fine if he knows he's having relationships with an alien. I'm pretty sure he's okay with it. And then again, that's like the whole mystique from X-Men. Like, would a dude really care that if the person was an alien or a mutant that they can change to anybody else? Like, I don't see a guy complaining about that. Really, you literally be a different woman every day of the week. Like, who would really have an issue with that? Like, so the whole back and forth, like, do you really love me? Or do you don't know the face I'm with? Like, who cares? Who really cares about that? Like, honestly. Uh, Disney tanking. I don't know. A lot of these superhero stuff just in general just been flopping, whether it be DC or Marvel. But I got more faith in Marvel than DC right now. But a lot of this stuff has just been flopping lately. It's just been terrible. Is it superhero fatigue? I don't know. But a lot of stuff is just terrible. Like, it's just not good from both DC and Marvel. And DC might even be on its last legs at this point because the Flash movie flopped. What's the movie Blue Beetle coming up next is predicted not to do well at the box office. So this superhero movies are just going through a rough patch right now because I don't know, people are just tired of superhero movies and what, but it's just like they've just not been that great. Yeah, it's just like, where do we go from here? Like, the new big bad is supposed to be King the Conqueror, but how is King the Conqueror supposed to defeat a woman who has everybody's powers? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, what's the purpose of having villains at that point if the villain can't outmatch the strongest character at this point? And then the fact that this character died, Talos, what did he die for then? If the president doesn't is going to kill the race off anyway, he's going to kill the scrolls off anyway. Then what did Talos die for? It just makes no sense at this point. Like, his death was pointless. You would think his death is going to be like the last saving grace to, like, at least give good graces to the scrolls. Like, they're not all evil. But if he died and the president still wants to kill them all off, then what's the point? What's really the point of him dying then? Uh, 13 is even a high score for this crap. Yeah. I can't defend this. I can't defend the finale. Once again, I like the actors, but I can't defend this finale. It's just terrible. Like, these Marvel shows, I love the superhero stuff, but some of these shows just don't need to be made, or just need some a whole bunch of consideration before they just greenlight one of these shows at this point, because a lot of them just been trash, not been great at all. A lot of the movies haven't been great. both DC and Marvel. So I don't know what to say at this point. Like the MCU when it first started with Iron Man and the original Avengers, it was amazing. But now at this point, it's just like, what are we doing here? The shows have not been great. The writing is just terrible, and it's just like you're giving people random powers who we never heard of, who just now the strongest person in the MCU. Like, what's the purpose of making villains now? They can't go past her. Like, it's just dumb. Mm. And then the whole point where the scrolls, they can be anybody, but if you just damage them, if you cut them a little bit, you see the real form. And it's like, is it really that much of a secret who they really are at this point? Like the whole back and forth, the finale with the president, I believe in Nick Fury, that Rhodey was a scroll. I'm like, this president just. They could just prove by having you cut his skin before you nuke the whole Russia, before you try to make an attack on Russia. Like like I said, the finale was just writing was just terrible. It's like they're telling you the person who saved you, Nick Fury saved you, saying Rhodey is a scroll. Don't believe this guy. Then the president has his gun aimed at Nick Fury. Like, really? If you know you could just cut them and they reveal their true scroll form, then why didn't you just do that? Why are you doing this back and forth? So I'm kind of rambling at this point, but this was just dumb. Like this finale was just dumb. It was really stupid. So like I said, whether this 13% of Rotten Tomatoes, I'm not personally making an account to give this a thumbs down or whatever, gonna make the percent going even lower. But I kind of understand why it's low like that, because I was not happy either with this finale. It's kind of trash. They're gonna do the whole Secret Invasion thing. Maybe this be like the warm up before they actually do the full on Secret Invasion with the actual Avenger. It was like Avengers level threat, but this was just dumb. Like Nick Fury didn't even face the guy who was so angry at him that he's about to nuke all humanity. They don't even encounter. So this episode was terrible. So, those are my thoughts on Secret Invasion finale season episode 6. I mean, it was interesting for the first like 5 episodes. Like, I'm still watching it, being interested, seeing where it's gonna go. But the finale just didn't pay off. Like, it's just dumb in my opinion. So, those are my thoughts. Maybe you think differently. Maybe you agree. Let me know your thoughts down below about this. Leave a like for this video. It's always thanks for watching, and peace.